What if I told you that a coin many people have seen before could secretly become one of the most talked about pieces among collectors? What if somewhere inside an old box, an inherited collection, or a forgotten drawer, a small piece of metal is quietly waiting to surprise its owner? Welcome back to American Coin Secrets, where hidden history, forgotten treasures, and extraordinary discoveries come together in one place. Today's video is not an ordinary coin video. Today, we are opening the door to 4 incredible coins that continue to attract the attention of collectors around the world. But here is the warning. Do not skip a single second, because one of today's coins has details that many people completely ignore, and those tiny details can make all the difference when collectors begin examining a coin. Every year, thousands of people unknowingly overlook valuable pieces because they never learned what makes certain coins stand out from the rest. Today, we are uncovering the stories, the hidden characteristics, the collector demand, and the fascinating backgrounds behind these extraordinary coins. And trust me, one of today's coins has a design feature that instantly grabs the attention of experienced collectors. Stay with me until the end, because every coin on this list carries a story that could completely change the way you look at everyday money. If you love hidden treasures, forgotten history, and rare coin discoveries, make sure to subscribe, because American Coin Secrets brings fresh updates every single day. Now take a deep breath, because coin number 1 is already waiting. And this one has a story that is far bigger than most people realize. First up, India 5 rupees, reeded edge with groove. Year 2000, fine condition. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves, because we are starting today's countdown with a coin that quietly entered circulation years ago, but still fascinates collectors because of its unique design details. At first glance, many people may think this is simply an ordinary Indian 5 rupees coin from the year 2000. But experienced collectors know something very important. Some details deserve much closer attention. The India 5 rupees coin from the year 2000 represents an interesting period in India's monetary history. During this era, the country was transitioning into a modern economic age, and coin production focused on durability, security, and long-term circulation. The year 2000 itself holds a special place because it marked the beginning of a new millennium. Coins from this period attract attention because they symbolize a historic transition from one century into another. This coin was designed to survive years of circulation while maintaining its identity through carefully engineered features. One detail immediately captures collector interest: the reeded edge with groove. Many viewers may not realize that edges play a huge role in numismatics. Collectors do not only study the front and back designs, they also inspect the edges, because unique edge varieties often become talking points inside collecting communities. That groove adds another layer of visual identity to this coin. For collectors, small manufacturing characteristics can become very important details when evaluating a piece. Now let's talk about the composition and background. This coin was created with practicality in mind. It was designed to be durable, recognizable, and easy to distinguish from other denominations. Over the years, millions of people carried these coins in their pockets without realizing that future collectors would begin paying closer attention to specific variations and preserved examples. This is exactly what makes coin collecting exciting. History often hides in plain sight. A coin does not have to be hundreds of years old to become interesting. Sometimes, a coin from a modern era can develop collector appeal because of its condition, design features, and historical significance. Now imagine finding one of these coins preserved in fine condition after all these years. That is where collector interest starts to grow. Collectors appreciate coins that still preserve their important details. Strong lettering, visible designs, and less wear all contribute to a coin's desirability. The year 2000 itself adds another element of fascination because many collectors enjoy assembling millennium-themed collections. But there is something even more interesting. As awareness spreads online, more people are beginning to examine old collections that were previously ignored. This growing interest creates stronger competition among collectors searching for attractive examples. That is why preservation matters. The better the condition, the stronger the collector appeal can become. Now let's discuss some of the visual features that make this coin memorable. The overall shape gives it a distinctive personality. The carefully designed edge immediately separates it from many ordinary circulating coins. Collectors love discussing these features because tiny details often create huge conversations. This is why experienced numismatists always recommend examining every side of a coin. Never rush, never assume, and never ignore the edges. Sometimes, the smallest details become the most exciting discoveries. Now we arrive at the moment everyone has been waiting for. According to the value you provided, this India 5 rupees reeded edge with groove coin from the year 2000 in fine condition is being presented at a market value of approximately $40,000. However, viewers should always verify prices with professional grading services, recent auction results, and authentic market sales because actual values can vary significantly depending on authenticity, condition, and collector demand. One thing remains true. Collectors continue searching for unusual and well-preserved examples because interest in historical coins never disappears. That is exactly why patience matters. Every serious collector understands that research, authentication, and preservation are essential. Now here are some important collector tips. Always hold coins carefully by their edges. Never clean old coins because cleaning can damage their surfaces and reduce collector interest. Store them inside protective holders. Take clear photographs. Document dates, mint information, and unique characteristics. And if you believe your coin is special, seek professional authentication before making any decisions. Remember this: successful collectors are patient. They study every detail. They protect their collections. And they continue learning every single day. That is the secret behind building a meaningful collection. The world of rare coins is full of surprises, and today's journey is only beginning. Because trust me, coin number 2 is even more mysterious, and its story may leave many viewers completely speechless. Before we continue, make sure you subscribe to American Coin Secrets because this channel brings fresh updates every day about hidden treasures, forgotten history, and fascinating coin discoveries from around the world. Do not go anywhere. The adventure has only just begun. Next up, India and rupees, reeded edge with groove, year 1992, fine condition. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have arrived at coin number 2, and this one carries a fascinating story that many viewers may never have heard before. At first glance, countless people would simply see an ordinary India 5 rupees coin. But hidden behind its appearance is a piece of history that has quietly captured the attention of collectors over the years. And once you understand its story, you may never look at old coins the same way again. The India 5 rupees coin from the year 1992 belongs to an important period in India's monetary journey. During the early 1990s, India was experiencing significant economic transformation. The country was entering a new era, and its currency system was evolving alongside a rapidly changing world. That is exactly what makes this coin fascinating. It is more than a circulating coin. It is a historical time capsule. Every mark, every design detail, and every feature tells a story from a period of enormous change. But there is one detail that instantly attracts experienced collectors: the reeded edge with groove. Many beginner collectors spend all their attention looking only at the front and back of a coin. Experienced collectors do something completely different. They inspect every single angle. And one of the first places they examine is the edge. The reeded edge with groove gives this coin a distinctive personality that separates it from many ordinary circulating coins. That unique edge feature immediately becomes a conversation starter among enthusiasts. It may seem like a tiny detail, but in the world of coin collecting, tiny details can become enormous discoveries. That is why experts always say something very important: never underestimate small differences, because small differences are often what collectors search for. Now let's explore its background. During the early 1990s, coin production focused on creating strong, durable currency capable of surviving years of circulation. The India 5 rupees denomination played an important role in daily life and was used by millions of people every day. Millions carried it. Millions spent it. Millions ignored it. Yet years later, collectors began revisiting these coins with fresh eyes. That is one of the greatest mysteries of numismatics. A coin can live an ordinary life, and then suddenly become a fascinating object of study decades later. That is why collectors love this hobby. History has a way of surprising people. Now let's talk about its composition and overall identity. This coin was engineered for durability and practical use. It was created to withstand constant handling while preserving its distinctive appearance. Even after decades, well-preserved examples continue to stand out. That is why fine condition examples generate collector interest. Condition matters tremendously. When collectors evaluate a coin, they study everything. They inspect the sharpness of the lettering. They examine the surfaces. They inspect every detail. And they carefully evaluate how much original appearance remains. A coin that has survived decades while preserving strong details naturally gains additional appeal. Now imagine discovering one hidden away inside an old collection. Imagine turning it over, looking carefully at the edge, and suddenly realizing that you are holding a fascinating piece of history from 1992. That is the excitement collectors experience. It is not just about money. It is about discovery. It is about preservation. It is about connecting with history itself. This is why more people around the world continue entering the coin collecting hobby every year. Every collection begins with curiosity. Then curiosity turns into passion. Then passion turns into a lifelong adventure. Now let's discuss the unique features that make this coin memorable. The year 1992 itself holds importance because it represents an era of economic transformation. The reeded edge with groove immediately adds visual distinction. Its balanced design creates a strong identity. Its historical significance adds another layer of attraction. And when these factors come together, collector interest naturally increases. But here is something every viewer must remember. Never judge a coin too quickly. Some of the most interesting discoveries happen when people slow down and inspect every detail. That is exactly what experienced collectors do. Patience becomes their greatest tool. Now we arrive at the moment everyone has been waiting for. According to the value you provided, this India 5 rupees reeded edge with groove coin from the year 1992 in fine condition is being presented at approximately $45,000. However, viewers should always verify values through professional authentication, recent auction results, and trusted grading services because actual prices can vary significantly based on authenticity, condition, and market demand. One thing is certain. Collector interest in historical and well-preserved coins continues to remain strong, and that is why research and preservation are incredibly important. Now let's talk about collector tips. First, never clean your coin. Even gentle cleaning can permanently damage its surface. Always hold coins by their edges. Store them inside protective holders. Keep them away from moisture and direct sunlight. Document the year, condition, and unique characteristics. And if you believe your coin has unusual features, consult a professional grading expert. The most successful collectors are not lucky. They are patient. They are disciplined. And they never stop learning. That is the true secret of this hobby. Remember, every old coin has a story waiting to be discovered. Some stories are obvious. Others remain hidden for decades. And sometimes the smallest details become the most fascinating discoveries. If you are enjoying today's countdown, make sure you subscribe because American Coin Secrets brings fresh updates every single day about hidden treasures, forgotten history, and fascinating coin discoveries from around the world. But do not leave yet, because coin number 3 is coming next. And trust me, its story may become one of the biggest surprises of today's entire video. Next up, Malaysia 20 Sen, year 2007, fine condition. Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally reached coin number 3. And this is the moment where today's countdown becomes even more fascinating. Because this coin comes from a country rich in culture, beautiful traditions, and remarkable history. At first glance, many people would simply see a small Malaysian 20 Sen coin. But collectors see something completely different. They see a story. They see history. And they see a coin that has quietly captured attention over time. The Malaysia 20 Sen coin from 2007 belongs to Malaysia's second coin series and was issued by the country's central bank, Bank Negara Malaysia. It features important cultural symbols and was produced using copper-nickel composition. But here is where things become exciting. Most people never stop to examine the artwork. Experienced collectors do, and that is where this coin begins to shine. On one side, collectors can observe Malaysia's beautiful national flower, the hibiscus. On the other side appears a traditional tepak siri container, a cultural object associated with hospitality and tradition in Malaysia. These are not random decorations. Every detail was carefully chosen to represent Malaysian identity and heritage. This is exactly why collectors love coins. They are tiny pieces of history that travel through millions of hands without people realizing their significance. Now imagine this. Years ago, someone received this coin during an ordinary transaction. Perhaps they placed it in their pocket. Perhaps they put it inside a drawer. Perhaps they completely forgot about it. Then years later, another person carefully examines it and discovers a fascinating historical piece from 2007. That is the magic of coin collecting. History never disappears. It simply waits to be rediscovered. Now let's talk about its composition and background. This coin was manufactured using a copper-nickel alloy and designed for long-term circulation. It weighs approximately 5.66 grams and measures about 23.59 millimeters in diameter. The coin was minted in Shah Alam, Malaysia. But remember, collectors do not simply look at measurements. They study stories. And every story begins with observation. The year 2007 itself becomes an interesting reference point because it belongs to a period before Malaysia introduced its newer coin series. That alone creates another reason for collectors to preserve examples from this era. Now let's discuss the unique features. The hibiscus flower instantly attracts attention because it is Malaysia's national flower. The traditional tepak siri design adds cultural significance. The reeded edge creates another visual layer, and the elegant balance between both sides gives the coin a memorable identity. These details may appear small, but in the world of coin collecting, small details often create the biggest conversations. This is exactly why experienced collectors always say something important. Never rush your inspection. Slow down. Observe carefully. Study every surface, and always pay attention to tiny details. Now let's talk about collector demand. Collectors around the world enjoy building international collections because every country tells its own story. Coins with strong cultural designs often become favorite additions because they represent more than money. They represent national identity. Fine condition examples naturally attract more interest because they preserve stronger details. Clear lettering, visible designs, and well-preserved surfaces make a huge difference. That is why condition matters. Collectors value preservation, patience, and careful handling. Now imagine opening an old collection and suddenly discovering a well-preserved example waiting inside. That feeling is exactly what keeps collectors searching year after year. Because every discovery creates excitement, and excitement creates passion. Now we arrive at the moment everyone has been waiting for. According to the value you provided, this Malaysia 20 sen coin from 2007 in fine condition is being presented at approximately $50,000. However, viewers should always verify prices through professional grading services, authenticated sales records, and recent auction results because actual values can vary greatly depending on authenticity, condition, and collector demand. That is why research is always your greatest tool. Never rely on assumptions. Always verify, and always authenticate before making decisions. Now let's talk about collector tips. Never clean your coin. Even gentle cleaning can permanently damage its surface. Always hold coins by their edges. Store them inside protective holders. Keep them away from moisture. Document their year, condition, and unique characteristics. And if you believe you have discovered something unusual, consult a professional grading expert. Successful collectors are not people who rush. They are people who study. They learn. They preserve. And they remain patient. That is the secret behind building an incredible collection. Remember this: every coin carries a story. Some stories are obvious, others stay hidden for decades. And sometimes an ordinary-looking coin becomes the most fascinating discovery inside an entire collection. If you are enjoying today's countdown, make sure you subscribe because American Coin Secrets brings fresh updates every single day about hidden treasures, forgotten history, and fascinating coin discoveries from around the world. But do not leave yet, because coin number 4 is still waiting. And trust me, its story may become the biggest surprise of today's entire video. Next up, Italy, €5 cent, 2005 AR, fine condition. Ladies and gentlemen, we have officially arrived at coin number 4. And trust me, this final coin is ending today's countdown with a fascinating European story. Because hidden inside this small copper-colored coin is one of the most recognizable historical landmarks in the entire world. At first glance, many people would simply see an ordinary Italian €5 cent coin. But collectors see something completely different. They see history, they see architecture, and they see a symbol that has survived for nearly 2,000 years. The Italy €5 cent from 2005 AR carries an incredible connection to one of the greatest monuments ever built. The Colosseum of Rome. The famous Roman amphitheater appears on the coin's national side and has become one of the most iconic designs in the entire Euro coin series. But here is where things become exciting. Millions of people have visited Rome. Millions have seen photographs of the Colosseum. Yet very few stop and realize that this extraordinary landmark has been preserved forever on a small coin. That is exactly what makes coin collecting so fascinating. Every coin becomes a portable history lesson. History travels through people's hands every single day. Now let's travel back to the year 2005. Europe was continuing to strengthen its identity through the euro currency system. Italy continued producing coins that represented its incredible heritage and cultural pride. Instead of placing an ordinary symbol on this denomination, Italy selected one of humanity's greatest architectural achievements, the Colosseum, a structure that Emperor Vespasian began around 75 AD and Emperor Titus officially inaugurated in 80 AD. Even today, it remains one of the world's most famous landmarks. Now let's talk about the 2005 R mark. The letter R represents the Rome Mint, where these coins were produced. Collectors often pay close attention to mint marks because they help identify where a coin originated. This is why experienced collectors never ignore tiny details. Every letter matters. Every mark matters. Every year matters. And sometimes those small details become the center of exciting collector discussions. Now let's discuss its composition and physical characteristics. This coin was created using copper-plated steel and was designed to survive years of circulation. It weighs approximately 3.92 grams and measures about 21.25 millimeters in diameter. Like all euro coins, it combines durability with recognizable design features. But remember, collectors are not only interested in measurements, they are interested in stories. And this coin carries an incredible story. Imagine someone receiving this coin 20 years ago. Perhaps they placed it inside a jar. Perhaps they kept it inside an old drawer. Perhaps they completely forgot about it. Then years later, another person discovers it and suddenly realizes they are holding a miniature piece of Italian history. That is the excitement that makes coin collecting so addictive. History waits quietly, then suddenly reappears when nobody expects it. Now let's talk about its unique features. The magnificent Colosseum instantly captures attention. The 12 European stars surrounding the design add elegance. The R Mint mark identifies the Rome Mint. The year 2005 marks its place in Italy's euro coin timeline. And together, these details create a fascinating collector experience. Now let's discuss collector demand. Collectors around the world love building international collections. European coins remain popular because they combine history, architecture, and culture into a single piece. Fine condition examples become more desirable because stronger details remain visible. Sharp lettering, clear surfaces, and preserved designs all contribute to collector appeal. That is why preservation matters so much. Now we arrive at the moment everyone has been waiting for. According to the value you provided, this Italy €5 cent 2005 RR coin in fine condition is being presented at approximately $59,000. However, viewers should always verify prices through professional grading services, authenticated auction records, and trusted numismatic experts because actual market values can vary greatly depending on authenticity, condition, and collector demand. Research is always your greatest treasure. Never assume, always verify, and always authenticate before making important decisions. Now let's talk about collector tips. Never clean your coins. Cleaning can permanently damage their surfaces. Always hold them by their edges. Store them in protective holders. Keep them away from moisture and extreme temperatures. Photograph them carefully and document every important detail. The best collectors are not people who rush. They are people who study. They learn. They preserve. And they remain patient. That is the true secret behind building an extraordinary collection. And remember this: every old coin has a story. Some stories remain hidden for years. Some stories wait for decades. And sometimes a tiny coin carries a giant piece of world history. Thank you for joining today's adventure. If you enjoyed today's countdown, make sure you subscribe, because American Coin Secrets brings fresh updates every single day about hidden treasures, forgotten history, and fascinating coin discoveries from around the world. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and never underestimate the stories hiding inside old coins, because your next discovery may be waiting much closer than you think. Factual references about the Italy €5 cent 2005 are: the coin features the Colosseum, uses copper-plated steel, was minted in Rome and standard circulation examples had very high production numbers.